If anybody wants to come and join us in the inside Ashanti,
I am more than joyful if y'all move up,
Oh,
because
they record.
We need to make the video.
only me. I'm not
sound
recording
camera
y'all
set.
at all, it's
that's
only
okay.
me.
It's only if
It's
you feel more comfortable
directly
sitting.
aimed at me.
Either way, I'm still gonna be far from the camera. So I'll. Matter of fact, let me sit right now.
You go, girl.
Let me sit right here.
Tell me when you're all situated and comfy. So I thought about this hard last night. I laid in bed and I thought, okay, I know what to say, but in what sequence should I say it? So I moved it over on me.
More stragglers.
Oh, God.
Come join me in here.
More stragglers, okay.
It's okay.
Everybody's
Go grab a
welcome.
cookie, hurry up.
I'll
Hey,
wait for you.
bro, don't come here Sunday.
Hi. Oh, you got it. Just take the whole container.
See what? Ooh.
I'll wait for you. So I decided to start with why this is important. Because we all want proof, right? Because a lot of people can talk, a lot of people can say they understand, and we listen, but it's helpful if you have proof, right? So in 2014, in 2012, my aunt killed herself. She was 2 years my senior, my mother's youngest sister. And the reason she's important to the story is because she's the person I first went to Covenant House with in New York. I was 11 years old, it was 1979, and her and I decided to run away to Brooklyn, to a really bad area in Brooklyn called Greenpoint. It wasn't my idea. I didn't know anything about the streets. I was in private school. I wasn't allowed to watch TV, didn't have friends, no birthday parties, nothing, so I didn't know what was happening in the outside world. I had 2 pigtails, braces on my teeth, and we ran away. And we went to a bad area in Brooklyn. So on and off for the next 6 years, 7 years, 11 to 18, 11 to 19, the next 8 years, I was a runaway in the streets of New York City. And I was in Covenant House there, first on 42nd and 8th Avenue, then 41st and 10th Avenue. I was in their, kind of like their pilot program. It was very early in the Covenant House world, and they saved my life. But that's not why I'm here. So after she killed herself, I knew when I was at her funeral, I looked around at all the kids, and I looked around at all the dysfunction, the hard relationships in my family, the hate, the anger, the faces, and I thought, what's happening? Why? And I got curious. I got curious about my family. I got curious about the abuse. I got curious about the anger. And I started doing some research, and I decided that I had to do something for the kids in my family. So I did. I lost 130 pounds. I got really serious. I saved up $10,000. I was on my way to Colorado to open up a program for at-risk adolescents because I was an at-risk adolescent. So I know what struggles you face because I faced them. And I made it. So I wanted to tell people, y'all, how I made it in case you needed to know how to get from A to B, that there was hope, that you can make other choices. So I did all that, and I went to college. I was as far as Texas. I got as far as Texas. I had $10,000, and I had a dream. Oh my God, I had a dream, and it was powerful. So I got there, and I started talking to people, and I started to get really depressed. And I didn't understand it, like really depressed, like you can't get out of the bed depressed, like depressed where you can't open your eyes. So from 2014 to 2016, I was in and out of psych hospitals with suicidal depression. I lost all the money, I gained back all the weight, and now I felt like a failure on top of everything else. So March 31st, 2016, I was sitting on my adopted daughter's steps, smoking 2 packs a day, looking out of the window, trying to understand and trying to find reason for my existence. I had to find a reason to live. You know that feeling when darkness is surrounding you and it's pressing in and you can't find that one glimpse of light to make you know that your existence matters, because you don't always have the family telling you they love you. You don't have that unconditional support. You have no cheerleaders. You're doing this by yourself, and society doesn't seem to understand how hard it is, right? To be in these places, especially when the holidays come around. The holidays come around, you're wondering why this is happening to you. What did I do wrong? All I did was be born, right? And I didn't choose to come here. Okay, so 2016, I'm sitting there, welcome back. 2016, I'm sitting there smoking cigarettes, chain smoking. I had already gotten my associate's degree in psychology, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do. Then sitting there, I heard, I don't know if it's a hear or felt, you gotta talk to the kids. I gotta get to you. I gotta talk to y'all. And I thought, I'm gonna need a little bit more of an education so people take me seriously. I have all the life experience, but I did not have the education. But I said, okay, let me go to school. I have to go to school. What do I do? Where do I go? How do I exist? So my dad told me to come to Puerto Rico, and he said, figure it out here. The island will save you. But I knew my mother didn't want me there. I still didn't have the cheerleader. She didn't want me there, even though I had tried to kill myself. My mother, dislike of me was so strong, she still didn't even want me there to help me save my life. That's my mom. So I contemplated it deeply. Should I go? What's gonna happen when I go there? I'm gonna have to face some crap. I'm gonna have to face a woman that doesn't really want me to be her daughter, and I just almost tried to die. So how do I do that? So I got there, and I had my own apartment. It was upstairs, and I was on 11 different medications, strong medications, antidepressants, anti-anxiety, antipsychotics. I was on 11 different medications. My face looked green. If anybody needs to see this, I can provide them with a picture afterwards, and you can go, my face was green. I was on so many medications. August 31st, 2016, I got to Puerto Rico. And I'm looking at them, the father that didn't protect me, the mother that didn't want me, and I thought, I came back to the source of the problem to fix the problem. What am I gonna do with this? So I'm there by myself, nobody believes in me. They didn't even believe I was suicidal. They just, my dad, I think, did it because just in case I was serious. He did his part. So I got there, I went upstairs, they were arguing about me, I could hear them arguing about me. I went downstairs, my father told me my mother didn't want me there. It was this whole big thing. Walked up the stairs in so much pain. I was crying hysterically, I couldn't even make it up the stairs. For 15 months, I stayed upstairs and I retrained myself, one thought at a time, one negative thought at a time, how to be positive, how to look for the gratitude. I weaned myself off 11 medications by myself, and I started going to school to get my bachelor's. It was going amazing. I was 3 terms short of my bachelor's, and Hurricane Maria came and slapped the island. So now, there's no light, there's no water, I'm on no meds, I'm here with a dad, my mother doesn't care, and I'm cut off from the mainland. I can't speak, by the way, I don't speak Spanish, so that was interesting. So I'm there, okay. So my father has a ticket to go to Florida to be with his wife, my mother, and his other daughter, not my real sister, my half-sister. So he leaves the island, and I'm there by myself, in the dark, with no power and no water. Now the whole family that didn't want me is all together in Florida, and I'm there by myself in Puerto Rico. If anything ever solidified the facts that I wasn't wanted by this family, it was that moment. But I was at a crossroads. Did I want to believe that, or did I believe that I was being called to do something more? So on no medications, with no water, and no light, I meditated every single day, and I wrote a book called Surviving Maria. On November 8th, 50 days after the hurricane, I got to the airport in tears that I was leaving the island, because I felt like I was deserting them now. But I had to go, I missed 2 terms of school, and I was so close to graduation, so then I flew back to the mainland. All right, so past the hurricane, past the suicide, and these things all worked. For 50 days, on top of that mountain, by myself in the dark. I want you to contemplate that for a minute. It was the dark. That means there were no street lights. There was no other houses with light. There was no, I have never seen this dark before in my entire life. There was no food. I couldn't get my own money out of the bank. The ATMs didn't work. There were no restaurants. There was no stores. There was no toilet paper. I had to find the water every day in town. Tankers would come. But I don't speak Spanish. So I couldn't get directions. So I would get lost and have to get back to the house before the light faded because I couldn't find my way in the house. And I didn't have my dad there. He left me. So I was there by myself. I faced every fear I have ever had. And all through this, every meditation, there's a 4th step in my meditation that I do every morning. I've done for the last 3 years. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? And my answer was talking to the kids. So this is what brought me here. Through everything I've been through, and it has been substantial, the only thought that kept me moving, I gotta talk to the kids. Every class that I took that I didn't know what I was doing, I dropped out of high school in the 9th grade. I never took math again because I hated it then. I didn't know what a statistic was, and it was something I had to do to get my degree to get here. And every thought, every project, every paper I wrote, I applied to y'all. How do I use this to explain to them that they have choices? How do I use this information to show them that it is a choice? How do I use this information to show them it doesn't have to be this way? You don't have to be what they think you are. You don't have to be that wretched child, or oh my God, I didn't want to have you, oh my God, you were a mistake, or oh my God, you need to do this or that, you're too much, you're too this, you're too that. You don't have to be that. You don't have to drink that Kool-Aid. I did it for a long time, and if one of you get what I'm saying and stop now, that you don't have to be 50 when you graduate from college. You can do it sooner. You can reach those goals. You can do anything you want to do, because our mind that accepted all that information, that families that didn't want us, can change the thoughts. We don't have to drink them. We don't have to take on that we're not lovable. Really? Is it that we're not lovable, or is that wounded people don't know how to love? No shame, no blame, but these are cycles that are passed down from one generation to another generation to another generation until somebody says, not me. Not past me. So I have 3 kids and I have 6 grandchildren. And when I look at them, you know what I tell them every day? You are a Wonder Woman. You are a superhero. You can do anything that you want to do. I believe in you. And you're going to have obstacles along the way, but those obstacles are not going to stop you if you don't let them. Because there's this tool. This is the one tool that I want to teach you today that you can use today, and it's called Teflon Mind. Teflon Mind belongs to a series of dialectical behavior therapy that was created by a woman that wanted to learn how to treat herself. Because she had issues too. We all do. We all do. It's the human condition. So Teflon Mind means somebody says something, be it your parents, homeboy on the street that wants you to be this, gangster over there that wants you to be that. Because there's always somebody wanting you to be something that maybe you're not, right? And you don't have to be. You don't have to be to belong. You don't have to be what they want you to be. You get to be who you really are. And that is gangster. You know why? Because that's authenticity. That is being yourself in the face of the world that wants to change you. If you watch TV, you see the commercials, pop your lips out. Take the picture like this, aim the selfie like this, look like this, pop the booty out like this, do your hair like this, wear those shoes, take this medicine, do this, do that, and it's still not enough. Get the new car that you can't afford to keep up with the other people. It's all a series of messages that we don't have to digest. You can just be you. I'm here. I love these sneakers. My sneakers have holes in the side, but God, I love these sneakers. They're the most comfortable things ever, and I could have worn new shoes today. This is the first time I'm doing this. But I don't feel me in anything new. I feel me in these ratty old sneakers. So these are the ones I'm wearing, and I don't care who thinks what, because as I sit here in all my meanness and all this, I'm too big. I wanted to lose 20 pounds before I got here, but it didn't work out. I had a really stressful week last week, so I just ate what I wanted to eat. But you know what? That's okay, because I'm me. And you're you with your hoodie on, you're you with your pink shirt, you're you with your red shirt, you're you looking beautiful. We are who we are, and that's okay. And if I can do it, and let me tell you, we're talking about 8 years on the New York City streets. I have slept on concrete. I have slept with rats. I have slept on Subway grills on cardboard. I have been in soup kitchens in the morning eating my bologna and being grateful for the most bland cup of coffee ever. I have shopped at church basements. I have been raped. I've been hurt. I was a drug addict before I was 17. The last hard drug I did was 17 years old. I've done it all because I tried to fit in. I tried to be what I needed to be to survive on those streets. Because when I got out there, I had nary a clue. Not a clue. I got out there and people were like, come on, I'll take care of you. I'm like, sure. But it didn't work out that way. When my aunt and I had to fight out of a house because there were 5 guys sitting around and they were gonna block our exit. It didn't work out that way, and I learned the hard way. But I made it. And I graduated last year summa cum laude. That means with the highest honors in school, and I am still here, and I am still fighting, and I refuse to give up because something in me is bigger than her hate, than his hate, than their misunderstandings and their issues, because you have to understand. Don't feel bad when you succeed and your parents are not. That's their lives. You are not responsible to fix them. You know how you fix them? By being the brightest light you can be. And by being that brightest light, you automatically change everybody anyway. I've seen it happen. As I fix me, I'm watching my daughter do this and my son do that, and they're all doing amazing. They weren't before, and I didn't say one word. I just kept doing me and shining. Me and shining. Oh, shining. No, I can't do that. And shining. I'm going to be me and shining. And it affected them and it impacted them. That's how you heal your family. You don't heal it by doing bad so that you don't shine too bright for them. Shine brighter. Give them a pair of sunglasses. Shine brighter. Be who you really are. Go for your goals. Go for your dreams. Get your college education. Because in this world, education is everything. And research what I'm telling you. Look up Teflon Mind. Look up the things I'm telling you. Know for yourself that it's huge and you can impact this world. So, I don't know if y'all have ever had the thought, it's a mistake that I'm here. Why am I here? Why am I on this planet? Nobody wanted me. I shouldn't even be here. I should die. I should not be here. I should remove myself to make other people comfortable. But there's a reason why you're here. There's a reason that you exist. There's a reason that you've made it through everything you've made it through so far. Which, by the way, you have 100% success rate because you're still here. So you haven't failed anything because you're still here. And as long as you're here, game on. Game on. You haven't failed. You're still here for a reason. I never knew what that was as I was trying to die. Until sitting on those stairs, I thought about my journey. I thought about my journey through Covenant House, through foster homes, through group homes, family court, on the street, running away, getting arrested, the drugs, oh my God, the drugs. So, our brain wants connection. We are hardwired to want to belong, back from tribal days. When we're ostracized by our tribe, it feels like death. We have no belonging, we have no protection, we are alone. So, our brain gets an oxytocin hit, which is a drug, a powerful drug, that's along the similar lines of the Oxycontins. So our brain gets that hit when we have true connection. But because of our circumstances, because we're the black sheeps of the family, if you will, we don't have that. So we look for it in other ways. So food, sex, drugs, all provide a lower drug called endorphins and serotonins, but they never make it to that high of, which is why we always want more. Which is why we always want more, because we're trying to reach for connection. And it's not a sign of weakness to want connection. It is the human existence. So it's nothing to be ashamed of, it's nothing to be made fun of, and people who do that just are uneducated and have no idea what they're talking about. But when you start educating yourself, look that up too. Look up serotonin hits, look up the brain wanting oxytocin for connection. Look it up, research it, learn. Because when you learn, you can look at these people who say things like, you gotta be this, you gotta do this, you gotta steal, you gotta do drugs, you gotta deal. In order to belong, you don't. You get to be who you are. And that is true gangster. Because this world is trying to change you into what they think you should be. Labels and boxes, fit in neatly, not too much of anything, not bold, not articulate. They want to judge you. And I know all about, I don't care if you're trisexual, bisexual, asexual, black, white, green, purple. I'm Puerto Rican and Guyanese. I don't fit in any boxes. I have yet to meet people that are Puerto Rican and Guyanese, so I have my own box. And I've lived with these racist and judgmental things my whole life, and at the end of the day, all it signifies is a lack of education and a lack of knowledge. When you think of your parents and the pain that you go through at home, understand this, the biggest thing that I can tell you, nobody, hardly anybody in this world wakes up in the morning and says, today's Monday, I want to screw with my kid today. It doesn't work that way. It's not intentional. It's hardly ever intentional. It's reactionary. It's reactionary. Something hurts them and that's the way they emotionally vomit. It's not intentional. They have their issues. You get to fix yours. You get to make choices for yourself and who you want to be the day you decide to finally have children and what you want to do before you bring those children in the world. And do you want to stop the just layers and layers of dysfunction in your family? What do you want to leave? What do you want to be said when you're no longer here? What mark do you want to leave on this world? You get to choose that. It doesn't matter what happened. You don't have to follow that. My parents still don't understand me to this very day. My mom would say, oh, Mom, I'm going to talk at Covenant House. I want to talk to the kids. You get paid for it? Well, Mom, this is my dream. This is my dream that's so big that I don't care. That I don't care. You know, you really need to, Mom. Okay, thanks, bye. Can't talk to you. And at that point, I love you, I'll talk to you later, bye. Because she doesn't get it. And when people don't get it, you can't explain it to them because they don't get it. And sometimes they're not ready to receive it. And you just let that go. It doesn't mean anything about you. It means that they don't have the capabilities or the expanded mind enough to see what you're saying. It doesn't have to mean anything about you. It doesn't mean what you're saying is wrong. It doesn't mean what you're saying is irrelevant. It means that sometimes the people you're talking just don't get it. And not everybody gets it. Not everybody's the same tribe, even if they are your family. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? You know when you talk to your relative and they just look at you with blind eyes. What are you talking about? Blind? You're gonna do what? Why? Well, they don't get it. That's okay. I love you. Talk to you later. Some people you can love better from afar. And that's okay. You can do that. You don't have to love everybody up close because they're not always that lovable. And sometimes distance makes you love them better. Does that make sense? Oh my goodness. I didn't know I was going to talk like that. It just came out. All right, so this quote was amazing to me, and it meant something to me, so I brought it with me. I am not what happened to me. I am what I chose to become. What I chose to become. So who do you want to be? At the end of the day, and you don't even have to tell anybody if you don't want to, at the end of the day when you close your eyes tonight, your head is on the pillow and you have all those thoughts because you know it hits you at night, right? Because it always hit me at night when I laid my head down in all these strange beds and I never knew where I was. I never woke up in the morning and knew where I was. Where am I now? Oh, concrete tonight, got you. Covenant House, thank you for saving my life. Because they did. So many nights. So many nights. So, who do I want to be? When you lay down tonight, think of that question. You don't have to tell nobody, so nobody will know, oh my God, that person's being sensitive or too emotional right now, I'm not gangster enough or whatever. Do this personally inside. Who do I want to be in this world? Because you get to choose. You have a choice. Your voice matters. And nobody can shut you up if the flame inside of you burns brighter than the crap everybody's telling you. Designed to keep you down so they feel comfortable next to you. Because if they're not growing, they don't want you to grow. Because they don't want you to grow past them. So authenticity is the truest kind of gangster. That's being able to say, you know, this is me, mismatch. Who can I quote? Who is that gangster right now? I mean, think of the people that you love, like the way people dress. Nipsey Hussle. Think about people and how they dress and how they wear their thing. Do you think that everybody around them agrees with them? Do you think everybody says, oh, that looks cool. What are you doing with those two different color shoes? What's happening? You know what I mean? But they were true to themselves. And that's what people find attractive is authenticity. That's what has people coming for more, is the badassery enough to be yourself. And say, this is me. And I don't care what anybody thinks, says, or feels. This is me. Hard work. So, you know Tiffany Haddish? Any of y'all know Tiffany Haddish?
Yeah.
Well, you know she was homeless, right? You know she was homeless when she was doing her stand-up comedy, right? And she was sleeping in her car. I got goosebumps. She was sleeping in her car, but she was so ashamed to tell anybody that. And the only person who knew was Kevin. Kevin knew, and Kevin helped her. She was homeless, but she wanted her dream so bad, she said no matter what it takes. So how bad do you want your dream? Do you have dreams? Do you let yourself dream? Because you can have anything you want in this world. Not because you have a bad beginning, you can't be whatever it is. I don't care if it's a rapper, a doctor, a lawyer. I don't care if you want to sell shoes. I don't care what you want to do. Just be the best at it that you can be and let yourself shine. Shine. And if people can't handle your light, hand out sunglasses, because that's not your business. It's your business to be as bright as you can be. That's your only concern in this world. So, we can make decisions from two places. I personally feel, and I say that because I'm not trying to shove my beliefs on you, that there's only two energies in this entire world, and one is fear, and one is love. Because fear begets hate. People who hate are scared. They're scared to own something inside them or in another person. So the two things to me are love and fear. If you make decisions from a place of fear, oh my God, I should do something so something else doesn't happen, or I should do something to avoid something, they're not the best decisions to make. But if you make it from a place of love, and you don't have to love anybody else, you sit there and say, oh my God, what do I want for my life? Okay, one day I want to grow up and I want to have a family. Okay, that's for the love of my kids, my family, my future family, and myself. You can make decisions from a place of love, and those decisions turn out much better than the ones that are from fear. Does that make sense? So if you're sitting there, walk down the street and cross the street because those kids are going to look at me and they're going to judge me, because that's what's going on in our subconscious. How do I fit in? How do I not stand out? Because nobody wants to stand out, because people look at the people who stand out. But it's okay, because maybe you can free somebody else up to be their authentic self if they see you doing it. Then they have courage to do it too. Because it's contagious. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. Heal people heal people. Did you get that? Because that's really huge. If you're hurt and you don't take care of your pain, you will hurt other people, whether you want to or not. And I did it. Because I wasn't a smart young mother. I didn't know how to be a mom. Because I went straight from the streets into marriage and having children. I didn't fix it first. Hurt people hurt other people. Heal people heal other people. What do you want to add to this world? More pain? Or do you want to raise it? Love and lift. Love and lift. It's a choice that you get to make every day. Bookmark that. Remind me? Love, choice, thanks. Okay, resilience. Resilience is so important, and I'm still working on it now. Still working on resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after something bad happens. And this is huge, because things don't have to mean the things that we take them for. They don't have to be the end of our existence. They don't have to be as powerful as we make it. We can take our power back. We control our energy. If something good, if you wake up one morning, for example, something bad happens, you stub your toe, whatever it is you do in the morning, oh my God, my day's gonna suck. My day's gonna suck. My day's gonna suck. Chances are your day's gonna suck, because you brought it to you. My day's gonna suck. You stub your toe and you laugh about it. Shit, that hurt. But you keep on going. I choose a marvelous day. I choose you'll have. Chances are you'll have that marvelous day. Choices work like that. And I want you to hear that. You have choices every morning. Every single morning I wake up, I say automatically, and I've been doing this since Puerto Rico, since there was no light, no water, I choose love. I just want it to be known. Up front in the morning, before the day happens, before the crap starts slapping me, I want the world to know, and myself especially, that I choose love no matter what. No matter what. So resilience. And that, you can build resilience with gratitude. Do y'all know what gratitude is? Being grateful. It doesn't have to be grateful for big things. You can be grateful for the lunch you got. Maybe one day you come down to lunch and they're serving your favorite thing and you're like, oh my God, I get my favorite thing today. Be grateful for that. I know it sounds stupid, I get it. Believe me, I get it. It sounds retarded, I get it. But it works. Because when you're grateful for that one thing, there are more reasons to be grateful for. The first hospitalization I was ever in was September 16th. And I hadn't been in a hospital since I was 13 years old. I was in this hospital and I was petrified. I was around a whole ward of crazy people. And you can't control crazy people. And I was petrified. So I'm laying there in the bed, trying to figure out how to die on this ward. And I thought, out of nowhere, be grateful. And I was like, but I have nothing to be grateful for. Okay. No, it's okay, go ahead. So I thought I didn't have anything to be grateful for, which is something that happens often. So I said, why don't I try, for shits and giggles, to be grateful for nothing. I'm gonna just be grateful, without a reason to be grateful. And I felt stupid doing it, I'm grateful. And my mind kicked in for what? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna be grateful anyway. And the day was a magical day. And I remember it to this day because it seemed like all the depression lifted in that day because I found a way to be grateful and crack through the darkness. So be grateful. Be grateful when you lay down at night and your sheets are clean. I don't know if you'll love, I might be a freak this way, I don't know. But when I go to sleep, I like to rub my foot. There's nothing to me like clean sheets. And maybe that's because I've had so many not clean sheets in my life. And the cardboard and the street and the, you know, so when I lay on clean sheets, I rub my foot against the material and that helps me to go to sleep.
That's how I go to sleep.
Is it?
Oh.
We just
I thought I was the only one who do
Me
that.
too.
Like
Me too.
I go to sleep, my sheets not clean.
Oh, I can't. I have a thing about clean sheets. So in that moment, if you had nothing else, be grateful for the feeling of the sheets. Be grateful for the cool water hitting your hand. And God knows after Puerto Rico, I'm very grateful for flushing toilets. So every time I flush a toilet, I'm like, thank you, Jesus, I can flush this toilet. Because you don't know what you got until you lose it. And being without water and power for 50 days, I had to wash my hair with buckets. And anyway, so you got the DBT. So do you think you could come up with one thing you're grateful for? You want to share? Anybody want to share one thing you can find to be grateful for? And if you can't find something, let's find something together. Anything. Are you grateful for this moment? Just, oh, please.
I'm grateful for life.
There you go.
Every day I wake up, and that's my first prayer.
I'm grateful
So
for
I
life.
thank you for waking me up this morning, clothed in my right mind. And that's it.
And you don't, and people don't understand the right mind unless you've ever had wrong mind.
Yes,
Woo!
ma'am.
I'm very grateful for
That's why I
right
had to throw
mind.
right mind in there.
Yes.
At home was so.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because they're contrasts.
Yes.
And if you don't, and that's what's so powerful about these experiences is if you don't get the bad, then you don't understand the good, which is something that y'all have that a lot of people don't have, is that you experience the bad. So now you really understand the good.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you have somebody say I love you and got your back and they're cheerleading you, I don't know about you, but it brings me to tears because I didn't have a family like that. So when somebody says they believe in me and they stand by me, a couple people called me this morning, you go talk to those kids, you do what you gotta do. And I was like, oh, that person remembered and I didn't even remind them. That's a blessing to me because I know what it's like not to have anybody. So little things. Are you appreciative you got shoes on your feet? Are you appreciative that you have underwear that fits you right? Because you don't know the, oh my God, underwear that don't fit is just a big thing. I'm just saying. It can cause pain in places you don't know. So these little things that you have, seriously, find a little until, it is real. These are things, are you happy? Oh, let me tell you, in Covenant House, oh my God, thing I was most grateful for, it's gonna sound, it might sound stupid and I'm okay with that. But they used to give us a bag of toiletries, and they still do that.
Mhm.
Oh my God, to a dirty girl on the street, that was everything. I would go into the bathroom and I'm smelling all the good stuff and using it and coming out smelling good, and I just stood there for a minute like, this is what it's like to be human. Because I didn't have that. That was everything to me. Then I remember it 40 years later. I can remember with Babe deodorant, a little square soap, the big double shaver. I remember, oh my gosh, shaving somebody's leg.
Everything that
Oh,
was big.
and that little bag was everything to me. Be grateful for that because there are some people who don't have that.
That's right. That's right.
Some people have no food to go to at 5:30 this afternoon, 5 o'clock, whatever, it's 5:30, right?
Yeah.
5:30? Some people have no food today. Some people don't have other people sitting by them that can relate to them. Because there's some people in this world that don't have a place to go to. Some people are still in Puerto Rico without light and without water. Still, to this very day, have nothing. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that this many people showed up because I was going to say all this if one person showed up. Because that one person would have been worth my every effort. And I was going to concentrate on that one. I prepared myself, one person. One person showed up. I'm going to put that person right there. I'm going to give it all to that one person. I'm grateful that this many people showed up. And my only wish is that at least one person in here took one seed of hope. If y'all got one seed of hope, one, that's why I called it one seed of hope, because I'm not that ambitious. I'm not going for a whole bag of hope. One seed of hope. If I gave you one seed of hope, just water that one seed every day. One seed will grow. It takes one acorn to make an oak tree. but it can't grow unless it's on fertile ground, so you have to want it. You have to want the hope. You have to be willing to embrace change and embrace concepts and learn to take chances. Because this is your life. I am 52 years old. And I missed a whole lot of life because nobody told me this. I didn't hear this. Don't waste it. It's gonna go by fast. And the bad times are gonna pass, and then you're in the good time, you're like, ooh, I'm 40. What do I do now? You get quick. Do what it is you came here to do because you're meant to be here. Do you know how I know you're meant to be here, and 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 you're meant to be here, he's meant to be here, you're meant to be here. Because you're here. Because you wouldn't be. Because I should be dead so many times. But I'm not.
All right, man.
So I know I'm meant to be here, and I know that you wouldn't be here listening to me unless there was a reason for it. There's a reason that you're sitting in this room right now. So examine that when you're by yourself.
I
There's-
heard you put it on, I don't know where you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for coming, Ashanti.
All right.
See you later, baby.
If you were not meant to be here, you wouldn't be here. So you're here for a reason. I want you to contemplate that when you're by yourself. What are you here for? What is this like? The question that I start asking myself in times of hardship, when things go wrong now, is not, oh my God, what else can happen to me? No. What am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to learn from this? How is this serving my life purpose? What am I supposed to learn or grow? What is this supposed to help me with? And when I ask a new question, I get new answers. So when I ask the world, there's a famous man, famous man, you can research him, his name is Nikola Tesla. I'm sure you've heard of the cars, right? Teslas? I know you have, right? Tesla.
I heard of the person talking.
Okay, so Nikola Tesla said when you think of life, think in terms of frequency and vibration. Okay, so when you have a feeling, it vibrates at a certain level. There's a book called Power versus Force that gives the chart, and it tells you exactly what frequency everything vibrates at. Love is real high, shame is the bottom. Shame and blame have no purpose, no use, do nothing, teach us nothing, nothing good come from shame and blame, so throw them out, they don't do nothing. So, he said, think of terms of frequency and vibration. So, you have a question. What am I supposed to do in my life? Or you? What do I want to study in college? You don't mind me using you as an example, do you? Thank you. All right, so what do I want to study in college? That's the question. So the question's, let's say, at 125. The question and the answer are never on the same vibration, ever.
Yeah.
It's not the same vibration. Do you ever lose something and you can't find something when you're looking for something, but the minute you stop looking for it, then you find it? Because it's on a different frequency. And as long as you keep yourself to the frequency of losing it, you won't be in the frequency of finding it. So go do something that makes you happy. Sing a song. Do something, whatever it is that makes you happy. Art, dance, do something. Watch a comedy. Do something to shift the energy. Then you'll have your answer. You don't have to go into the wormhole thinking about things. It should be easier than that. But if you educate yourself on frequency and vibration, Nikola Tesla, look up what he believed in. It's amazing. And every time I practice it, it works. So I don't struggle for answers anymore. Just like I didn't struggle with what I was going to say first year. I didn't. I just got myself out of that place, did what I like to do, and it came to me. As I was falling asleep, oh, that's exactly how it happened. But I didn't try. It's not working harder, it's working smarter. It's understanding and then going with the flow. Life is always going to be ebbs and flows. It's hard times and good times, and they always come sequentially. So if you're in the middle of a hard time, understand that that hard time is telling you that a good time is coming. So in your middle hard, and if you're in the middle of good time, suck it in, because you know a hard time's coming. Because they always come like that, and the bigger the bad time, the bigger the good time. It's the balance, always. And these things, these concepts you can look up for yourself. I know y'all got Google, and you're able to use the computers here, right? And I see everybody with phone, so it's what you choose. You can hang out on you know, looking up who did what in Hollywood, but at the end of the day, what is that going to get us? What is that going to do for me? How's that going to get me out of Covenant House into my own place, getting an education with a bank account, and learning tools that are going to help me when you get out there, because it's not always easy out there, but it's doable. And I'm proof that it is. Because for all intents and purposes, I should be dead 10 times over, and I don't really understand, honestly, even to this day, and I'm sitting here. I don't get it. I'm in awe still that I've made it this far, because I thought 18 was my cutoff. I thought 18 was I didn't even see myself living to 18 out there. It's New York. you know? It's New York, and I don't know these streets here, but I know hoods, and I know them well, and I know the challenges. And all I want to tell you is that you're bigger than the challenges. Your spirit, the spirit that moves you is bigger than the obstacles. It really is. Oh, I thought I had a lot more to say than that. Jeez. So there's a song, actually, that has amazing lyrics that I'd like to play for you. This song now, all my grandchildren sing on the way to school because they're scared on the first day of school when you're going to meet new people. You know, things that scare you, things that are daunting, things that make you cringe, and you're like, oh, like today, me, because I listened to the song on the way here. So this song is very powerful, and sometimes you need to boost yourself, especially when you come from families that are not extremely supportive. You have to find ways to do that for yourself. And some things just really, really help. What is it?
Where's Miss Quincy? So Miss Quincy, did she leave out?
I asked her right now, right?
I'll read the lyrics in a minute. We don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of my scars. Nobody will love you as you are. This song is from a movie called The Greatest Showman, and this song was sung by the bearded lady because the person who created, what's his face? What's his name? Ringley? Was it Ringley? Barnum and Bailey? Barnum. P.T. Barnum. P.T. Barnum gathered all the people that they called freaks. So you had the short person, the really tall person, the really obese person, the person with the beard, all these freaks of nature. And they were saying, I don't care. I don't care, I'm gonna be me. I know that I'm bruised, I know that I'm broken, but I'm still acceptable. So please don't think that because of the bruises, because of what you've been through, makes you weaker, because it doesn't. It makes you stronger. It makes you stronger because you survived. It makes you stronger because you have those bruises. There's a beautiful, his name is Rumi, and he said, the crack is where the light enters you. It's through those breaks that you find your power. It's through those breaks that you find your strength. It's through those breaks that you find the lessons that get you to the next level. Y'all play video games, right? How many people play? Y'all play video games, right? Okay, so, you know when you're playing, you have to get the power pellets, and you get to the boss store, and if you didn't get everything you didn't get the boss key, you can't go through the level, and then you have to start the level all over again and get all those. That's just like life. It's just like life. If you don't get all the lessons, you can't graduate to the next level. You need those. And it's through the breaks that they come more easily, the lessons. And you can do anything. Like, how do you know that you weren't put here to one day speak to kids, or be a counselor, or be a doctor that handles abused children? You don't know what your purpose is. And your job is just to excavate it and find out. And that takes time, but it also takes curiosity. Curiosity. Curiosity that I know that you have because we spoke about it. It's that curiosity that helps you build a life that you don't have to cry about, a life that you don't have to cringe about, a life where you can wake up and know, I want me. It doesn't matter what anybody else wants. I want me. And I have something to say. And you can say it and people will listen because you matter. Because you matter. And your dreams matter. And your contribution to this planet matters. And I know that, or you wouldn't be here. You're here for a reason. Do you ever feel like there's no reason for you to be here? Why am I here? Why don't they love me? What did I do wrong? How can I fix it? How can I fix them? How can I make everything better? It's not your job to make everything better. Your job is to take care of you And it seems selfish until you understand that's all you have control over is you. You can't control your parents, you can't control your grandparents, you can't control society. You can only control who you are and what you bring to the table. Only what you bring to the table. Is anybody grateful for anything? Can you find one thing? I don't care if you're grateful that the walls aren't black. I don't care. Can you find one thing you're grateful for? Anybody want to share one thing?
Okay, so y'all want me to go around the room? Let's see. Bill, give me one.
I say still been around there trying to kill myself.
Okay, Joe, give me one, please.
You deep soul. You got stuff to be grateful for. I see it.
All in his face, he does.
I see it.
He's very
I'm
shy
sure.
too.
Well, yes,
Shy,
Brian.
don't
I
give me
see what's
one.
going on there.
One thing that you're grateful for, love. I'm gonna help Sean. Now, Sean gonna be my new doctor. Sean doctors on himself every day. And God is good.
It
Because
could
he
be
puts it in
anything.
his mind of what he's supposed to do and how to do it. He don't need me to remind him that his name is Dr. Sean. All right, come on down. I ain't talking for all of y'all. Don't make me tell all of y'all this. Give her one thing that you're grateful for.
I'm grateful for having faith.
Okay.
Faith can take you places. Faith could take you places where nothing else seems to be working.
Sam, I am. Will you give me one?
Well, back home, I'm not saying I get company out there, but moving to a whole other state where you don't really know anybody, it's kind of like I didn't have anything. So coming here and I have people that care about me, then help me get back on my feet.
That's beautiful. I'm only here 3 months, so I'm new too. I've never been here before. I know nothing about it. Have to use a GPS to get around the corner.
I was
So-
in the
Huh? Oh, yeah, 3 months? Yeah, me too. It is hard to come to a new area. Absolutely.
You want to give me one thing you're grateful for?
Covenant House.
Huh?
Covenant House.
You grateful for the Covenant House?
Yeah, me too. Oh my
Okay.
God, me too.
Mimi, give her one thing you're grateful for.
My existence.
My
I am too,
existence.
because you have a beautiful smile. Thank you for being born, baby. It's gonna get better.
Wow.
Anybody else? Yeah. I still won't leave, I'm sorry. I'm not going away. I won't leave until you give me one thing you're grateful for. I'm gonna be that annoying person.
I'm waiting.
I'm so grateful he knew who Tesla was. I was like, yes, yes. One thing. He's like the pressure.
I'm grateful that this happened.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, he is not gonna make me cry. Don't do it.
I know.
Don't do it. Oh, I got the makeup
No.
fixed to my face. Please don't make me cry. Jesus. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, you made my day. That made my day. And I'm grateful that all of you are here. I'm grateful that Covenant House is here. I'm grateful they've changed a lot of things. Wow. I want to go to a Covenant House where there's yoga. I saw that. I was like, what? I'm pissed. It's amazing, and I'm so glad that they're here. I'm so glad that they're helping, and I'm glad that you have that. And I'm glad that y'all here. I'm glad that you're alive. I'm glad that you've survived 100% of everything that has happened because you're here. I'm glad that you're meant to be here because you're here. And I can't wait to see what y'all do with your lives because it's up to you. And you got this. And I know that. I know it, that you can do anything. Because if I can come back from hell, if I can come back from suicidal depression, and I didn't see a door out, I get it. I didn't see no door. There was no door for me to get. I didn't see no light. I didn't think I was going to survive that. And the fact that I'm on the other side, no medication. I made it 50 days past the hurricane with no light and no water and no drugs. No benzos, no antidepressants. I did that a la carte. And that was a miracle. That was a miracle. That's right, no benzos. Not a one. And that was the first time since '91 I was on nothing. And I made it with not one panic attack. I sat there at the end like, did that just happen? did that really just happen? So I know there's nothing I cannot do now. You see what I mean? That's what this life is showing you. There's nothing you can't do now because you already made it past all this. Turn around, look back and say, oh, got you. That's what I thought as I was driving here. Because I was nervous. I don't have notes. This is just what I feel. But I wanted to do it that way. I wanted it to be organic and real. But it was scary. But as I was driving here, I thought of no toilet paper, and I thought of the bathrooms and the no water, and I thought about almost dying at 17 from an overdose, and I thought about all of that, and I thought, okay, I can do this. Because that's how we do, one step at a time. Eleanor Roosevelt said, you have to do the thing you think you cannot do. And each time you do it, you gain a momentum, a strength, and then it's not scary anymore. I used to think she meant once in your lifetime. It's 10 times a day. All day, things are scary.
Did she marry her cousin? I was just asking.
Oh, I don't know. Did she? A lot of people did back then. It could be.
It was one of them things at that time. They didn't know who cousin people were. They just got married, didn't have it. We don't know. But you can research that for me.
No, I
It was a pleasure meeting you.
I'm pretty sure I know.
Oh, you're not leaving? Good. I was gonna track you down.
That's his job. Nope, that's.
Small chance, bro.
You got what it takes. That's the amazing thing is you're born with everything it took to make it through your life. It's in there. You just don't know it's in there. Because most of the good stuff that's hidden inside is hidden under the pain. The very thing we try to numb out with drugs and liquor and sex and food. I can own it. The things we numb out with those things, that's where the miracles are, in the pain, but nobody wants to go through the pain. Because society teaches us not to. Drink, absolute, tequila, drink this, do this, play this, buy this. So we don't feel it, but that's where the miracles are. The miracles are through the pain. So when something hurts, what I do now is I sit with it. It's very uncomfortable, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I sit with it, I'm like, not eating, I'm not gonna feel better right now. All right, I'm just gonna sit with this. So what do I do with this? And I sit with it, and it feels uncomfortable, and I sit with it. And I say, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna love this part of me. It doesn't feel good, but it's a part of me, right? And when we hate parts of ourselves, we create so many mental disorders that are ridiculous. But after I sit with it, less than 24 hours later, I get the growth. Every single time I get the gold. And I know, oh, I gotta do this, or oh, I had to love that part of me, or oh, and it's always a revelation, and I'm telling you, this stuff works. I know it sounds cheesy, I get it. But after Puerto Rico, like, I don't know how I made it. So I believe it, because all these things worked. The meditations, I did meditations, affirmations, all of it, it works. It seems cheesy as hell, I know. But I'm proof that you can get from here to wherever you want to be. I'm proof. What time am I? You have any questions? I'll take any question. There's nothing that I hide or anything. What do you want to talk about?
I just want to say to the kids that are in this room, I watch them every day. So I watch them grow taller in some aspects and shrink in others. But they have this love for each other that is I can't explain it.
You don't have to. I get it.
No matter what happens, no matter who it involves, they love on each other. I can't beat up on Mimi or say I'm gonna beat up on Miss Cheryl. If they beat up on me, the other one's gonna, and it's not a violent bad thing. It's the thing that lets me know that they are continuously growing every day. A lot of it, they don't understand because of where they are.
Right.
But I like my position in it is that I can meet them where they are.
Right.
And they push me where I need to be, and I drag them where I want them to go. But you all keep that love. Keep that. That love is awesome. Take it wherever you go. Their love is so sincere.
You just gotta aim it at yourself. Take that love and aim it at yourself.
Yes.
Take that love and aim it at yourself, and you will heal. And the more you heal, the more the people around you will heal. The reason I consider myself a miracle, I mean, there's so many reasons that I consider myself a miracle, but I'm the last one. All my people are gone. AIDS took out half my people. Drugs took out the other half. I'm the last person. I went back to a police station in the Port Authority. They have a youth division on the second floor of the second building. And they knew me. I was always in them, and I am the last one. They're all gone. I'm here, meant to be here, or I wouldn't be here. Meant to be here sitting talking to you, or I wouldn't be here. That means something in your life wanted you to hear what I had to say. So there was something in this that later on, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be a week, it may not be a month, but it planted. It planted in the soil, and it'll grow something. And then when you heal, people around you heal. Automatically, you don't have to do nothing for shine. Isn't that easy? You don't have to talk to nobody, you don't have to convince nobody, you don't have to tell them, look at me, you don't do nothing, I'm telling you it's better if you don't. Just do. Just be, shine. And everything happens by itself, and it's amazing. I sit there watching my kids sometimes because I wasn't the best mother in the beginning. And I talked a lot of good game, but my actions didn't know how to meet what I was saying. So now if I say something, okay, Mom, I get that all the time. So I don't say anything. I just do. And then I see lives beginning to change. Just by doing it. And it's so much easier than trying to convince people that don't want to hear what you're saying, or shut you off, or make you feel like your message is not important. And you know how you feel stupid standing there talking to somebody who's like not listening, right? It's just easier to be alive. And I see so much light. So much light.
Thank you for coming out.
I did my best.
Thank you for having me. I do. It's been a long time now. A lot of cigarettes and a lot of contemplations to get here.
And what's your name?
Shanti.
Shanti. We had a Shanti just left.
Yes, I know. That's how I remember her name. Do you work here too, I'm guessing?
Yes, ma'am. Crystal.
Hi, Crystal.
That's what I missed that right there.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Shanti, we got some good kids here. And
Oh, I'm so
it's
sure.
not my job to invite you back every week, but I invite you back.
Well, I'm
Every
definitely.
week, 'cause we need it. Yeah, they need something. We need it. What y'all say?
It is my,
Yeah.
it is my honor to, I told them, as whatever they need, because I was 15 years old, walking away from the house on 41st and 10th Avenue. I turned around, looked at the building, and I said, I'll be back to help. I said those words, I'll be back to help, but I was going back for dinner.
Uh-huh.
Like, I didn't know how to help me, much less anybody else, but I said it when I was 15, that I would go back and help.
And look at you.
And I had to, and it just moved me, pulled me, shoved me,
Mhm.
kept me alive.
Okay. What y'all think? What you get out the deal, Red Cap? You've been over awfully quiet, peeping at me and that all time. Tell Miss Shanti what you're grateful for. Don't make me have to pull out my list. Look, I got a whole list, look. You gonna give me one? You gonna give me one? Come back, handmaid. Come here, love. Give me one. Give me one thing you're grateful for. I can give you 5. You gonna give me one? You don't have one? Or you gonna eat dinner at 5:30? You gonna eat dinner at 5:30? That's something to be grateful for. Did Mr. feed you lunch today? Did he have lunch here today?
He wasn't, no.
You plan on having dinner with him?
Yeah, of course.
Look at that look. That's some gracefulness that you're talking about. Okay? We ain't gonna talk about our other stuff. Handmaid,
Yes, ma'am.
you missed an awesome motivational speaker, but one of the questions was, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for each and every day being a new day.
Right.
Oh, he
That's
would love
awesome.
this. He would have loved
And he
this.
wasn't even
He
there.
would have loved it. It sounded like he listened to it.
Hey, May, was you standing outside that door?
Nah.
Listen, boy, you guys are awesome, man. Y'all are, y'all just run into difficulties that
I got a whole lot.
disregard.
Did you? I'm glad.
Thank you, though.
You're very welcome.
No problem.
It is with my whole heart. I am you. There's no difference, honey.
Good.
No difference.
I guess you're right, too.
Well, I'm
All
sure.
y'all have.
I'm sure it wasn't hunky-dory to the path that brought you here, baby. I know. I know. And it's night times that are the hardest, right? You lay down and you think when your head hits that pillow. I
I
get
try
it.
to keep them outside when the weather's nice. There's something about being outside. I always say this blows the wind between the ears because they ain't paying no attention no way, but they respectful. And
Yes.
so I'm okay with that. But when they come in, they ready to lay down. So when they lay down, it might be a movie or something in
It cuts the
between
chatter
the
down.
actual
Right.
sleep.
Got you.
But when I leave, if I check in on most of them,
Oh, you seem like an amazing person.
so they
Just putting it out there.
She
I can feel it. I can feel, you got that mother energy over
My
you.
babies, I'm telling you, especially this one, you gotta give them something. You ain't tell them nothing, I'm gonna tell all your business. I got a whole list, you think I'm playing? Oh, do it. What you say? It ain't got you anymore.
Did you get something out of this?
Did you walk in?
I think I can look on his name.
What's that?
What you saying, Sam? I can't hear you back.
Oh, this,
I said, I really wanted to work on resilience because I hold on to a lot of things and all of that. I really bounce back.
Remember that you are so capable. Let yourself, because one thing we can give ourselves is permission to shine.
Yes.
Because sometimes we don't feel right, like we're worthy of that, but it is your birthright to shine.
Right there.
Y'all, even if nobody else around you shine, you shine anyway. I have so much shimmer on today, my kids call me a blow up, because I'm always putting shimmer and sparklies on, always, but that's me. And if they don't like it, don't look at it, it's okay. But you get to a point where you just don't care anymore what other people are saying, because what's moving you is stronger. Be the best you, whatever that means, for you, that you can be, and that's all you owe yourself. Forget us. Heal people, heal people. You got this. I know you do, because I do. And God bless America, I have been through some interesting, the whole thing. I get it. And if I can do it, I'm not better than you. We're the same potential given to all of us. It's what we choose to do with it, right? And I see your light, and it's beautiful, and you're a beautiful lady. You got this. And I know that for sure, said the head that used to live in concrete. You got this.
So y'all, what we gonna do with Miss Shanti told us today? We gonna do with it, Mimi? What we gonna do with it, Sam, I am?
I got a good part.
What you
We're gonna
gonna-
implement it, I even do that.
I ain't heard.
We're gonna implement it, I even do that.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, he said we are.
I told you he wasn't asleep when you started leaving him. I told you he was asleep. What we gonna do with what she told us? Mimi, what we gonna work with? She gave us some stuff to work with, man. I mean, my plot is running over. So what y'all got? Can we make this into a life skill?
Yeah.
You only have to struggle 66 days. The latest research out of English University is it takes 66 days to make a habit. 66 days, and then you don't even have to try anymore. 66 days.
We gonna
Mark
use
it
the
off on your
sticky notes
calendar.
and write 'em on- write 'em on
66
my
days,
note.
and then it's a habit. It's
Okay?
default.
We can do this, y'all.
Yeah?
Y'all
Okay?
can do it. You know, I often think, Miss Crystal, when I leave here, I told you I jump up paid so fast, I don't even make my business to hit either interstate. I just, and when I look back, I just want to know that I gave them my 100 while I was here. Do they always accept it? My biggest fight sit right there with me. But I love him anyway, and he know it. And we gonna fight anyway.
Well, that's about
Right?
love, isn't it?
This
That's unconditional
grant
love.
right here, it's a community baby. But he knows where to come, find him some love and some affection on a daily basis. And that's where we figure as case managers is to give them that love
Right.
that they don't get in the street and to show them the real love that's been perpetrated by their frenemies in the world, that we are real, and we're not sure about them, but we.
I had amazing counselors back in the day.
Yeah.
And they were always good for a nighttime, because sometimes, I mean, the nights, man.
Oh my
It was
God.
always the night, so it was always 3 o'clock in the morning that there would be a group of us sitting by their feet in these little, like, they weren't exactly offices, they were like plastic enclosements right in the middle of the floor. And there was some of us always sitting around a foot, just chilling and talking so that we didn't have to lay down and think,
Mhm.
you know, and contemplate. So, yeah.
Sometimes we get that from them, they wanna really talk instead, but they have some good stuff to tell you as well.
That teaches us, right?
Mm-hmm.
It teaches us. Then we're not here just to teach, it's cyclical. Learning, growing.
Yeah. And they go on, just in a year and a half, I've been here and watched a few of them, not watched them grow.
That's a beautiful thing.
They'll come back and tell you I'm ready for
Trust
my
me,
work
you're gonna be implanted in their memories. Because I remember. I mean, how do you forget people who have saved your life?
Yes.
People who told you you were worth something when the world was telling you you weren't. I can never forget that, ever. To this day, that's beautiful. So but that's your gratitude then, right? You grateful for her?
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
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 And that's a beautiful thing. So what do y'all having for dinner tonight? What's dinner?
I don't know, if nobody
She
knows.
told us it was hot dogs.
Who's sick? What are you talking about? No dinner?
Beef dogs.
No, she said hot dogs and then
She
Hot
said,
dogs.
she said the hot dogs is real beef. Cake?
Yep.
Not the pork dogs.
Oh, I heard the cake for it. What
The
you?
cake sounds like something to be grateful for, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
lunch was better though. This is
Yeah.
steak, cornbread, salad, peach pie.
What? Tell me about this beef stew y'all had for lunch with cornbread.
I don't eat
It was
this.
real.
Somebody tell me what happened.
Miss Davis should be permanently appointed to the,
What, did y'all save me a bowl?
If y'all don't eat this, you can have his.
Yeah, he didn't do
Because he
something.
never eat this place.
I don't eat beef.
You don't like beef hot dog? Oh, you don't eat beef?
I just don't like beef stew.
Oh, you don't like the beef stew? Okay. No. Hunks of meat. So I don't know, you staying for dinner with us?
Oh, no, I'm gonna leave in a few minutes. After we're done, she wants to speak to me for a minute, and then I'm gonna head out so I can GPS my way back, in case I get lost around the corner again. Because I'm not even used to the double lanes that y'all have. What is that? So you get turning lanes and straight lanes, I'm like, which lane?
And they think the right lane is the speed lane.
Oh, you're sweet under all that side.
It is.
Oh,
It
you
is. That's a
smile.
love bug, I'm telling you.
I like it. I like the smile. Well, if any of you are here, I plan to come back at least for Christmas, Thanksgiving to help. 'Cause I want- Holidays are hard, man. I get it. I get it.
It is.
I know.
It is.
I know.
It's hard for me.
You might at one day see me cry, because I'm an easy crier.
You know what, I always say crying is good for the
Oh,
soul.
it is. It's like a teapot.
Yeah,
It's like the top of a teapot. It is good.
just whistles his little way out.
I get that.
What else is
I want to thank you personally, Sean. I believe this is very, very I tried to get a few more youth for my floor, but I believe that everyone was here is who needed to be here today.
Right, I
Even
feel that.
myself. So you spread so many gems. I'm excited to plant
Thank you.
and water
Yeah.
and see everybody else use those things as well. I mean, I love to have you there.
Thank you so much.
HVAC.
Thank you so
Sorry,
much.
I'm
be here every day,
Yeah.
just to sit while we eat.
Necessary.
Just
Everybody drop their food crying
Just
like,
keep-
What else do you do right now?
Well, I'm in school, master's degree. I just chose to, to leave my program and start another one. So I have like 6 months where I'm waiting for the new school to begin. I'm taking care of my newest grandchild. She's only 3 months old. And it's so weird because I tell her, I told you every day, you're a Wonder Woman. Thank you for choosing us. You're amazing. And every time I tell her she's a Wonder Woman, she looks at my wall where I have the big Wonder Woman emblem. I'm like, Right, Jesus, right. But she smiles so much when I tell her she's a superhero, like she may not understand the she gets the feeling. And that's what we should do. Do you know what I mean? When I was in school, as I was on the mountain before the hurricane, I learned, I mean, there's so much that I learned that I got. I have child and adolescent development psychology. So I learned about me first. And one of the things that's the most powerful that I love to share is that when a baby looks into the eyes of its caregiver, the reflection that's in the caregiver's eyes becomes the self-esteem for the child. I didn't know that. I had goosebumps. I didn't know that growing up, so I didn't know why I had faulty pieces in my foundation because I never got done with I love you. So knowing that, when I hold my grandchild, I'm like, you are the bones.com.
Yeah.
You are amazing, Supergirl, Wonder Woman. Thank you for blessing us with your magic. And she giggles and she smiles. She gets the feeling, if not the words. And she's so, but this is the thing, like you don't know that. Like, you don't know that that's a reason why your foundation feels funny, why you don't feel as secure because somebody didn't do that for you. Now that's not to blame them because they didn't do it on purpose. They didn't do it because somebody didn't do it for them.
Right.
So it's a cycle. Like I said, nobody wakes up unless you're on Snapped or Criminal Minds. Nobody wakes up and says, I'm gonna go screw with my kid today. Nobody does that. It's a reaction. They felt triggered, so they took it out on somebody else who takes it out on somebody else and it takes somebody strong to say, it stops with me. Yeah, I'm not doing something. Because heal people. So if you're hurt, you're going to do it to others. If you're healed, it's an arch for that. Even until you understand that, that's why Stephanie told her, I wouldn't know that. And as I read that, I cried. They don't ask that. And I'm sitting there because I understood what I didn't get. So I don't know why I needed them to say I love you, or needed to tell me that I was amazing. But if you don't get it, then you look for it from other places, from men, the street, drugs. You get it from to numb that, to put a cushion on your jeans.
Oh, I know that. I thought that was a cookie.
Lessons are hidden, pains or feeding and sexing it, alcohol and drugging it, and if you say it's and it'll just be a cycle and waste our whole life. But if we sit with it and say, you know, it's really what's under it? So now my curiosity is huge, so I'm doing the weight thing now. Because it's time to be physically shit. Because I like to play. I like to play. Because there's amusement parks and not worry about if I have a I deserve to play. I feel like I gotta do that for me. So now every time when my habit tells me eat something instead of feeling something, my job is to sit there and understand. Am I wrong topic? Or is this on patience? Or I really want to hug from my mother. Not even now. We should change her mind. She doesn't know baby, but another so the blame and shame does nothing because it's powerful. Remember, you should think about is that they're hurting themselves, parents, and they don't know how down the kid will be because they don't know the baby. And when we blame the baby, like I can say, and I can say, oh my God, my life happened because of that. But when I do that, I also give them the power. Because they don't know that they press me. When I train, to reply, did I choose to heal or did I choose to work on me? I take back my power from them. Because if I help break me, then I can help fix me. Do you understand what I mean? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
It was an honor. It's an honor. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for all the work you do, because girlfriend, it matters.
It does.
Oh my God, I'm proof it matters.
They think I'm loving on a good day, but they didn't do it.
Thank you for coming. And remember, you can
Just
do
rub me right
anything.
here.
Anything.
Just hit me right
You
here.
got this.
Right? Yes. Come on, Doc.
It was great meeting all of y'all. Thank
Doc,
you
is
so
that
much.
when you come back?
I will be here. I will be
You
back.
said that in front of me.
What? Doctor?
Dr. Shine.
Don't be sings my name like
Dr.
that.
Vampire.
Well, you're the original. Come on.
I know y'all started there. I'm just.
Oh, hey, Doctor. You're welcome.
Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome.
So I think those, constant affirmations are needed. Like, we
Yes.
go through times where, we
Read
don't
this.
forget.
Read this. Affirmations of me. I know, Mom. So I have, I am love, I am health, I am abundance, written on a piece of paper that stays on the person.
Yeah.
I got this, just, I am enough. So I see that every day. I have to see it constantly to remind myself not to choose the old program and take the new program. Do it, write it with a Sharpie. I am enough. I am love. I am light. Write it wherever you can see it every day. To make it. I've been saying I am love, I am health, and I am abundance since Puerto Rico. Every single day. At least, sometimes 3 times a day. Whatever it takes. It works. Because I don't know how I made it through that hurricane. Honestly. Alone. In the dark. All the rest of my family were together. Nice restaurants. And it's okay. I don't hate nobody. I love them from afar. They're not my tribe. Just because people you love don't mean they're your tribe. You do understand that, right? Don't mean they understand you. Doesn't mean they elevate you. They might be too broken for that. But when you're healed, look at the people around you. Automatically. Without even attempting. It's just a gift with purchase. Isn't that powerful? The way you fix them is to fix you. And you've got a beautiful life. I see it. You don't have to be or do or say anything that you are not to belong with a bunch of people. There's a great quote. It's, there's no measure of good health to be well adjusted to a sick society. So we're all struggling to fit into a broken society. Why are we struggling to fit in if the society is broken? So that means be yourself. You're such a beautiful young lady. You really are.
I would like to see it. Just like, you can hear it, but you got to
Understand that I don't see my man. I don't see that I'm beautiful. But I know that I am beautiful. My eyes can't see it. So what you have to do is know that you are, even if your eyes can't see it. Because our eyes are trained to see something else. Our eyes are trained to see their message for us. Understand that you're beautiful even if you can't see it. Or be willing to at least entertain the thought that maybe your eyes will. I'm not getting paid. I'm here because I'm hungry. Telling you you're beautiful does nothing if it's not the truth.
Right.
You're beautiful and you have an amazing life. And the fact that what I'm saying touched your heart means that you're halfway there.
I would say cry. I don't usually cry from they usually cry on my bill, but I don't usually cry from people. Even if you cry, I think you're holding.
But if you felt it, that means you're halfway there. Because that means you don't even have to worry about pulling off the layers to feel it. You felt it. And if you felt it, you're halfway there. These are thoughts you've already had. These are things that you've already, I know. Goosebumps again. These are things you've already felt and you thought about it and said, nah, I know. And then I said it and you're like, oh. And you had that moment. I know.
Like, they're like 2 years old. I ain't even see myself senior to 17. Like,
I get
now
that.
I'm 17. Like to try to like numb my pain. You know, I tried drugs, you know, sex and alcohol, and it's like I left that alone because I'm like I'm still hurting. Like it's not doing.
And more, because now you did it. You still got the hurt, and now you got shame and blame that you did that too. So it's worse. You're like, oh shit, I screwed up on top of screwing up on top of screwing up. I get it.
Right, and it's like.
But the pain is so intense, we don't know. Because society doesn't teach us what to do with pain, how to sit with discomfort. And kids are walking around thinking if they had a bad day, they screwed up.
Yeah.
Nah, sometimes human life just sucks. You just have a sucky day. It's nothing that's going to continue or keep on. It's just a sucky day. It means nothing. But who knows that? Maybe you're going to be the one to teach people about that.
I actually want to be a psychologist.
Ah, you know that you did.
But now I'm figuring out, I don't think I But in my living situations, that I can be saying.
That's just the situation. That's subject to change constantly, talking to the woman who's lived in like 12 states. So that's just the situation. That's not your, things change so much in life. Don't hold on to anything. Be willing for change and expand your mind. Look for things outside of the box. You're 17? You're 17. Look at going away to college. Look at going away to college and living on a dorm and having a life. Look at getting your education and look at things that you don't think of. Look outside the box. Don't be boxed in. Don't be boxed in just because the first part of your life has been traumatic, the rest has to be. That's not the case. You can make new choices. Okay, this is the way it's always been done, but how is that working? Is that really working? No, let me try something new. And that's when you reach out to your case managers and say, okay, this is the situation, but I want to think outside the box. So can you help me find solutions that maybe I don't see? Mm-hmm. And open yourself up to that because it takes courage. Because there's a part of you called the ego. The ego doesn't want you to grow. And the ego doesn't want you to grow because it thinks it can keep you safe. And if it keeps you small and quiet, it can keep you safe. So it doesn't want you to do that. It's part of you that's trying to help you the wrong way. So you want to go around that. And you want to expand yourself. Think of other things. What about other states? What about colleges? Think about when you think of professions, you can take a career test online. Mm-hmm. And when you think of professions, go through them, read the descriptions, don't think, feel. What does it feel like to imagine yourself like that? So the thing that brings me the most joy is talking to you. I'm telling you, it does everything for me. It's my thing. What does it for you? What brings you that kind of joy that you could survive 50 days in Puerto Rico without water and light and want to do it and save your life? You gotta want it like that, and then you follow that thread. Sometimes they're gonna be breadcrumbs. So let's say you decide on nursing. I'm just picking this out of nowhere. So you decide on nursing. You get into nursing, like, oh, I don't really like nursing. So then you become a physician assistant, but you wouldn't have known that you wanted that unless you did the nursing first. That didn't work out, so it detoured in another way. So let yourself explore things and be prepared to fail. Because failure is a part of success that nobody wants to talk about. But Edison screwed up with the light bulb 999 times before he got one success on 1,000. But he was willing to fail 900. Dude, I get discouraged if I fail 3 times. Once. Once. Oh boy, like 990. That's some kind of tenacity I don't even know about yet.
His ambition.
999. I get mad in the first one. I'm like, oh shit.
Marty is like, okay, that's not for me.
Yes, 999, dude. That's wanting something. Do you know what I mean? And maybe we can learn. Now, he's not my favorite person because he stole all Tesla's ideas and there was a whole bunch of stuff later on. But that tenacity, that's something to be admired. 999, and oh boy, did not quit.
No.
What? 99. I'm still on 999. 100, 101, 103, we're only up to 103, 104, 999, 999, dude, that's a lot of failure.
For real.
To get where you wanted to go. When you find something that you want, that's what you find. And that's a feeling, not a thought. It's a feeling that led me to y'all, not a thought. It wasn't a thought, it was a feeling. I know, I felt it, I felt a pull. So it's a feeling. Thoughts can be a program. Thoughts can be programmed from your earliest behaviors of your environment. Feelings are your own. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference. You want to use thought, of course. I mean, it's a part of our life. But intuition is something that we were all born in and society has trained us out of. Well, I don't feel like I should hug that person and your parents. Hug them anyway. That's your uncle so-and-so. No, I don't want to hug that person. And we don't listen to that child to find out years later that Uncle so-and-so was a pedophile and he was touching people when he shouldn't have been touching it. The kid knew. The kid knew with the feeling, hug them anyway. No. If you don't want to hug somebody, don't hug that person. There's something in you that's saying no. So our whole life, society takes this intuition and makes us not believe in ourselves anymore. So, I feel that I shouldn't take this job, but I'm going to take it anyway. Why? Why? You're feeling not to take it. Explore that. That's a red flag. You know, when you dated somebody and you looked at the person and you're like, oh, he's cute. But then he opened his mouth and you're like, oh, shit. Yes! I'm going to ignore that and go with him. We broke up 3 weeks later. He was an ass. But But your tuition told you that you could avoid that
I
whole
already
3-week thing, right?
I wouldn't even go through the process. I'm the type to do all the way right
Well, good,
there.
but that's you listening to your intuition.
Yeah.
Use that when you're looking for your life path as well. It's always there. Last night as I laid in bed, I thought about today and I was like, oh shit. It's one thing having a dream, it's another one doing it, right? So I was like, I'm not gonna sleep, so I'm gonna be nervous. And I wasn't that nervous. I fell asleep and then I woke up this morning and I'm like, okay. And I have all kinds of fears this morning, but like I said, the first thing I say every morning when I wake up, I choose love. Because love and fear can't exist in the same space. They can't. Try it. Try it. Next time you're scared, pull in an I love you statement about anybody, including yourself, your dog, grandma, I don't care, God, a tree, a flower, find something. They can't live in the same space. One leaves with the other. They can't coexist. So whenever I feel fear, I find a love statement and I turn it into a gratitude. I'm grateful for the trees, I'm grateful for my granddaughter, I'm grateful that I got my new tattoo because I love it and I want more. I'm grateful, oh man, they're so expensive. I'm grateful my hair came out good today, whatever. I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying whatever I throw, you know? And the more gratitude, you start feeling a shift in your energy. You do, try it. Oh my God, I'm grateful for this room. You don't notice the energy change from when everybody walked in to everybody walking out?
Yeah.
The energy changed. That's energy work. And energy work is powerful. Because depression, it's everything. And depression and sadness live on their own frequency. But gratitude pulls energy up immediately. I call it the WD-40 for life because anything that happens, if I don't like it, I automatically start, I love this one, I'm grateful for this one, I'm grateful, oh, okay. I'm grateful for this one, oh, okay. Grateful for this, then I'm dancing. You know, it changes. It changes, but you gotta work the tools. So I can tell it to you, if nobody ever does anything, then nothing will happen. If you take it and you use it, the more you use it, the more powerful it is, the more your energy changes. The more your energy changes, the more opportunities become available that weren't available when you were sad and depressed because the solution lives on another frequency than the problem. So the more you can follow gratitude, the more you can retain that.
But that part when you said, when you was like, when you wake up and you don't know where you're at until you look around, like that's how I was, like, 'cause I know how it feels to be out in the street and homeless, sleeping on the ground, all this stuff. I was, like, my whole freshman year, I was homeless and nobody knew, like, because every day I wake up and, like, I go to, like, the gas station and clean myself up and put on my uniform.
Oh my God,
and, like,
I
do
got
my hair.
goosebumps.
And I steal her products and do my hair. and, like,
I did it at Macy's and A&S on 34th Street.
Oh my
That's how I
God.
got so good with the makeup.
I used to go
Because
inside-
every morning I use their samples,
Right.
the trial counter, and I'd be like, okay,
Yes.
okay. I ended up with a big sore one day because I used the lipstick somebody else had used, but I did that every day.
Me too.
On 34th Street in Manhattan, I got myself all dolled up when I was homeless. I know.
That's crazy. Like, people never knew, but every day, like, every night I would cry before I go to sleep. That's because I was just, like, homesick.
I like it.
And I was outside. Like,
Well, that's a reason to cry.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
so, like,
It's scary out
it's
there.
scary. Alright, you never know.
It's scary out there. It's not like you.
Like, and then you just, like, you paranoid looking around before you go to sleep. Then you wake up, like, hold on.
Right, you
like,
can't hardly sleep because you're
Yeah.
sleeping on edge with protection in your soul. So behind the New York City Library, it's on 34th Street. Me and a bunch of people, because the way Covenant House worked when I was younger is you had to leave every 2 weeks for 24, 48 hours. I don't know which one. But they had to recert because it's something to do with the funding. So you had to leave. So we had to go somewhere. So we had nowhere to go. We were back, it's called Bryant Park. It's called Bryant Park. And we were laying down, we had cardboard, so we didn't hit the ground, and we had it all, it was like 4 or 5 of us, and we were laying down, we were getting ready to sleep. And I looked over and there was a rat this big. Dude. It's all you, boo. You take the park. It belongs to you. I'm not finding that rat.
It's yours.
Oh my God, but the places I've slept and the scent has a lot to do with memory.
Yes.
For me, disinfectant mixed with urine.
Yes. Yeah.
It reminds me of homeless shelters,
Me too.
subways, trains, and certain scents. But this is another tool I'll give you. When something like that happens, because I'm diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. When those things happen, remind yourself it's a memory and it's not actually happening. because we can't differentiate in our mind and soul. So when that happens, say, it's memory. It's just a memory. It's not happening again because our bodies go into fight, flight, or freeze because it's a danger. It thinks it's a danger until you tell it it's just a memory. And I do that for myself now. That's happening, but it's just a memory. It's not really happening. And when you start doing that, you can stop your body from getting ready to fight or you get scared. That scared response, you can stop it because you're telling yourself it's just a memory. Because memories are your whole life, songs, scents, all kinds of shit will paint, bring up the memory. If you tell yourself it's just a memory, because our bodies can't differentiate. So that works.
Like one thing, like I got just beat it today. I woke up and I we're up with this and I looked and I was like, oh, dang, I came to go down.
And I'm
like,
safe.
right.
I'm safe.
And then I forgot about whole little intake and stuff. Like that was crazy. No,
Intake was a process.
Yeah.
Man.
I just wanted to tell Julie that I love you so much.
I love him too.
I'm her former case manager, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was battling with myself, so like I was just on edge, and I was just going off on any and everything. Right?
I'm still sorry. So we had like a little falling out right before she went.
Yes.
Just me,
Am I part of the reunion?
Yes, you are.
I'm part of the reunion.
The energy is here.
Aww.
Yes.
But she is so ambitious, so strong.
I see it.
Very courageous.
I see it.
She has the life. Like she is the life.
I see it.
And I know she's going through a lot right now, but I know she can get through it. And I want you to know I'm here to help you through it. But if you want it or not, I'm here. And,
I'm gonna give you my business card,
please.
so you have it too. I'm gonna give you a few of them. Give it to her, so in case anybody wants information or links. I have a blog, and I blog everything, Puerto Rico. Everything's there.
But yeah, thank you for this time.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so
Tamika
very
is
welcome.
really good, and
That's
she
all
has a
true.
lot going for herself.
And it's like I always help others, but I just can't find a way to like really help myself emotionally.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, because you have to believe that you're worth it, right? Because if you don't believe you're worth it, you won't do it.
Right.
If you don't believe that you're worthy of better, you won't expend the energy to do better. I'm gonna give you more in case.
Thanks, yes. So I'm actually in the process of like re-healing myself. And
Yeah? Well, it's a lifetime situation.
Yes. And I recently, I don't know, do you know the speaker Iyanla Vanzant?
Oh, yeah, Iyanla, yeah.
Mhm. So I just finished reading one of her books called In the Meantime, Finding the Love That You Want. And it's pretty much focusing on healthy relationships, but also knowing yourself.
You know you gotta be the love that you want, right? So if you want patience, cultivate patience. If you want honesty, cultivate honesty.
Right.
If you want loyalty, cultivate, because that's what I've been doing lately. I gave up on anything else except